Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about my new project. It's a blog that I'm currently writing and editing and getting ready for its December 15th release. The name of the blog is Progenitress, and basically, I chose that word to name my blog because Progenitress or Progenitor is a forefather or foremother of a group of people. And I really find it, very important to me in my life to listen to the voices of my past, and I think that other people should also do the same, whether it's a direct ancestor or the ancestors of our people, because you can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. So that's basically why I chose that name for my blog. The tagline is Black, Modern, Maternal Feminist. And basically, that just speaks to me directly, word for word, on the person that I am and the person that I'm learning to identify with. Um, Anybody that knows me knows I have children. I have two boys. One's 8 and one is 2. So I chose maternal because I've learned over the years how important it is to be nurturing and be maternal to your children and those kids, just kids in your life in general. They need that caring and they need that nurturing. I chose black because obviously I'm black. I'm a black woman and I'm proud to say that. Oftentimes people think that I'm of Hispanic descent or I'm of West Indian descent, but I'm really just purely a black woman, and I think that it's very important for me to identify with that because black women are beautiful, and we really do get a bad rap a lot of times, but we have a lot of gifts and things to offer the world, and I think we are slowly starting to see that with a lot of the directors and actors and writers that are out. Um, Being modern is basically just being able to do it all, like go to school and go to work and be mom and be a wife, and just being a modernist, and still learning to keep time for yourself and have your own interests. Being a feminist, feminism is probably one of the biggest ones up there next to being maternal. I feel like you can still be maternal, you can still be modern, but you can still be a feminist and still have so much um, interest, and you hold women's rights and women's liberation very dear, and I do that 100%. Like I think that women can do the same thing that men can do. I think that women should be respected just the same way that men are respected in the workforce, in the home, in society. And those are really the reason why I chose those four words to define me, myself, and my character. I didn't always know some things that were given, like I'm black and I'm a mom. Those things are given, but the last two, over time, I'm starting to identify with more. I've pretty much declared myself as a feminist since high school. You know what I mean? And just being able to get the same rights and same equal pay and as men. That's only right. You know what I mean? And then as far as being modern, like as I, going through my adult life, I've learned that I can do a lot of, different things at once. I can wear a lot of different hats, and still, be able to function. However, um, the last one, being a modern woman, has also taken a lot from me as an individual. And I say that because, and you'll read more about this in one of my first posts, Translucent, constantly doing it all, okay? And by all, I mean being a parent, being a student, being an employee, being a girlfriend. Back then I was a girlfriend, now I'm a wife. Being all those things, kind of really uses up a lot of your time. It takes a lot of your energy, and you over time lose yourself. And that has honestly happened to me over the years. And like I said, I was a young mom. I had my first child when I was 20. So in the midst of that, I went to school, I finished college, I got my degree. I was able to find and keep a job, get fired from that job, go back to school, finish up, get another great job, and keep that job for the last 4 years. But in all of that everyday to day things, I've lost bits of myself, bits of Crystal, bits of me as an individual, me as a woman, me as a citizen in society. And as I'm approaching 30, I'll be 29 in January. As I'm approaching 30, the next decade of my life, I want to be more focused on those things. and being able to be a complete whole individual. Because I think oftentimes as moms, as wives, we lose ourselves in our everyday. We lose our sense of who we are and what we want to accomplish and our goals. And we become more, more focused on the goals and accomplishments of our family, which is still very important, but you can't be an active, individual in a family if you are not bringing a lot to the table. And I think that that's very important. As a mom, I'm constantly trying to keep my children well rounded and trying to expose them to things that I was exposed to as a child. You know what I mean? For a number of years I was dancing. I went to constantly doing shows and going to a lot of dance productions and learning about the arts. Now I have a love for the arts. I've always had a love for the arts. But like I said, as when you become a mom and the everyday day-to-day shuffle, you lose a lot of those things. And that's what I want to bring back to myself, and I want to write about, and I want to my readers to read about. And while everyone is blogging and podcasting, and all of those things are excellent, it's very, very refreshing to see what other people are doing and see what other people find important and interesting, and take advice and give advice. I think those is excellent platforms for expression. But one thing about my blog that's going to be tad bit different than ones that I've been seeing and been reading and listening to podcast wise, is just being able to focus on individuality, and being able to be and being okay with being different, and being okay with you know what's going on in life, and writing about those things, not so much as it pertains to family life or as it pertains to relationships, or but kind of like reacting to what's going on in our world. And I mean, we all know there's a lot going on in our world, and while there's a lot of scary things happening, there's also some really, really, really great things happening right now. I think that black women in particular, are getting a really, really big rap in Hollywood right now, as far as being some of the greater writers, some of the greater directors, some of the greater actors. I think that those things need to be celebrated, and I just don't see a lot of it. You know what I mean? I see some things, I read some articles, but I don't really see like my friends talking about it enough or speaking about it. And I kind of want to bring that to the forefront, because I think that's important and that should be celebrated. But we have a lot of bad things going on in our world. We all know political climate right now, which is a mess. We got to kind of choose between the lesser of two evils. However, you know, we need to understand the importance of voting, and it's very important because that's our voice. And we have to be able to use that voice if we want to see change, or we can't be in a position to complain about it. And again, going back to the beginning about our ancestors, they fought for this, they died for this, you know what I mean? So like, I always think that it's important for us, especially black folks, to vote. And or just anybody, because we are this is our country. Like, we live here, we pay taxes to be here, and that's one of our rights. And just the constant media coverage of the shootings, of the unarmed black men and women being killed, like, that's so important right now. And it's important to me because I have two young sons. You know what I mean? It's important to a lot of other people that I know, and a lot of my friends that have young kids, because we are the generation that's going to change that. We have to be proactive. And that's, again, going back to what I said about listening to the past. Our ancestors went through this as well. It's just in a different way. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to use those lessons and use those teachings to deal with what we're dealing with now, so we can solve this issue and put an end to it, hopefully. But I hope that you guys subscribe to my blog, and I hope that you take the time out to read some of my posts. I'm gonna try to commit myself to writing at least 2 posts a month. Some of it's gonna be about something that I've seen, or something I did, or how I'm feeling about some certain something in the media, or whatever the case is. I just hope that people will respond and give feedback, and ask questions or give advice, whatever. And I hope to see more and more subscribers, and just people being interested in what's going on around us. And this is not just for men, this is not just for women, this is not just for black women, it's not just for, I would like to see all of my friends be playing an integral part, and their friends playing an integral part in this blog, so that we can start a conversation. um, Again, it's going to be released December 15th. I'll put up the link for it. I'll put up the link for the videos. But again, I really do hope to hear people's opinions, hear people's arguments, hear people's concerns, whatever the case is. And I just hope that it's received in the same way that I'm giving it out. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reading.